Welcome to a new episode of the Coaching Hive podcast. If you have been following along, you know that we have been talking about the Coaching Hive Blueprint. This blueprint is your way of building a business that keeps it simple and focused. Because after all, if you are building a business, you don't want to feel overwhelmed, burdened, scattered, or frustrated. Building a business has enough pitfalls and challenges that you don't need to add any additional confusion or delay. So this blueprint series started all the way back in April. Can you believe it? Back on April 26th, we started this blueprint series. So if you have not had a chance to listen, I would definitely go back and start there and then move forward. So we are now into July and wrapping up the blueprint. Last week, we talked about growing and scaling, and that was the last step of our 10-step blueprint to building your successful and profitable business. This week, I thought what we'd do is just kind of take that step back and first of all, review where we've been, but then think about what the next steps are. How do you take this information and actually use it in a meaningful way? So let's go ahead. Let's take some time today and think about how you use a blueprint like this. If you're ready to get started, grab your notebook, grab your tablet, whatever you're using to take notes, grab your cup of water, your snack, if you're feeling hungry or thirsty, whatever you need to stay focused. And if you're ready with our theme of simplicity, clarity, and vision for 2022 in mind, let's jump in. I'm Dr. Mora, and this is the Coaching Hive podcast. Okay, so here we are. I told you that we have been working on this blueprint since April 26th, where I first introduced you to the concept of micro decisions and blueprints as a way to build your business. Each week throughout the blueprint, I have asked you to take some action to make a micro decision. Because what I've found in mentoring people over the last 15 years, from college students to coaches to other entrepreneurs, is that when we have to make a big decision, we tend not to make the decision. However, if we can split things down into smaller micro decisions, it is so much easier to make progress, take action, and move forward. That's what the Coaching Hive is all about. Moving forward, taking out that overwhelm of building your successful and profitable business. It's all about momentum. So once you get started, just like the ball at the top of the field, at the top of the hill, it's about momentum. Once it starts rolling, it rolls and rolls and rolls faster. That's what we want in building your business. So the blueprint covered 10 key areas. We started off with mindful vision. Then we talked about your daily rhythm for moving through the day, moving through the week in a way that not just honors who you are and what you need personally, but also your business. We talked about the importance of mentors and peers and the fact that you don't need to know everything, but you do need to know who to reach out to when you're feeling stuck. Having a mentor and peers that you can rely on to help makes all the difference in the world. Then we talked about clarifying the products and services that you offer. And if you're thinking about the blueprint like a car, your products and services are like the seats. So you have to have seats in the car in order to sit somewhere, or it certainly makes it easier, right, to sell your services if you know what they are. We need to have products and services. You want to have that clearly identified base set that you're offering. Then you need to be able to talk about it. You need to be able to have your one-liner. You've got to be able to share succinctly, 1 or 2 sentences at most, who you're helping, what you're doing, what that looks like. Then we talked about relationships and web presence. We talked about the importance of consistently building those partnerships and those connections, because it's going to be those referrals. It's going to be those opportunities that you are offered because you've built your relationships that will lead to growth in your business. And as you're doing all of that, you want to make sure you're collecting those email addresses so that you can build trust, build a relationship, which goes back to the previous step, right? You want to build a relationship with the people on your list. You want to nurture them. Let them know that you understand, that you know where they are, where they've been, and where they want to be. Because when they know that you understand and you have a plan for them, they're much more likely to say yes. Then it's great to have your email list, but you have to keep building that. So you really need some good marketing and sales funnels and techniques out there, which means you have to clarify your message first. We talked a lot about clarifying your message in that episode. And this was a glimpse into the story brand approach to messaging. We want to invite our potential clients into a story where they can see themselves and they can see the transformation that can happen. But it also goes beyond message. That's truly the foundation of your marketing and sales, because everything will build out of that message that you create. We followed that up with 2 last episodes. We talked about progress-driven learning, in that you want the learning you're doing for your business to drive progress. That one's fairly self-explanatory. There are so many learning opportunities out there, opportunities to participate or attend summits, conferences, courses, and sometimes there's that scarcity factor. Some courses, some opportunities only pop up once a year or every other year or every 3 years. So how do you decide what to do and when to do it? Definitely tricky, but with the right foundation in place, knowing what your vision is and all of these other things, having great peers and mentors to bounce ideas around off of, you're going to find it easier to choose those opportunities to help you achieve your vision. And then finally, last week, we wrapped up with the idea of growing and scaling. And even if you are not to that point yet, to start thinking about what that might look like. What would you like if you were to grow and scale your business after it's profitable month after month? And that brings us to today. So clearly, I just walked you through the blueprint. I gave you a little bit of an overview, but if you have not yet had a chance to listen to those episodes, I highly encourage you to go back to episode 65 and work your way forward in order, because each week builds. And that brings us to the concept that we started with. The secret sauce of the blueprint is truly to make micro decisions and to follow the blueprint process. When you make micro decisions, you're breaking things down so that they are more achievable. If you've ever used SMART goals, you know that they're supposed to be realistic and achievable. Micro decisions are often much more realistic and achievable than a big whopping decision. So liberally sprinkle micro decisions through your everyday processes and work inside your business. When you are making those micro decisions, you are taking action, you are moving forward, you are gaining momentum. So what do you do with this blueprint? I've given you that high level overview throughout the podcast series. And some of you, that's all you need. But what if you're thinking, that's great, but I need more. I need more detail. I need someone to bounce ideas off of. I need some of this kind of all wrapped up in one place. If that's the case, I would encourage you to head over to www.coachinghive.com and click the Apply Now button. You can learn more. Within the Coaching Hive, there are a lot of ways that you can work toward this blueprint. You could work on your messaging first with me, or work through your messaging with a group of fellow entrepreneurs as we pair group coaching and the Magical Business Made Simple University by Donald Miller. If you're thinking, yeah, but I need more than that. So what happens after that? I love that concept of group coaching for 12 weeks. I get 12 weeks of help to build my business and working on it, but I need more of this blueprint. I don't want just the messaging. And I say, you know what? I've got something. We have 2 tiers of a membership inside the Coaching Hive, where we get together every single month, at least twice live, and work through the blueprint. For instance, some months we talk about lead generation. Other months we might be talking about building your email list. more specifically. Maybe it's about your daily rhythm. So each month we have a different focus inside the Coaching Hive so that that blueprint comes to life. It becomes something that it isn't just a piece of paper or a podcast episode, but it is a conversation. It is work that we are doing together as a community to help remove that overwhelm of building your successful and profitable business. So if you're thinking, that's great, but I've got a bunch of free Facebook groups I'm a part of, that is a wonderful place to start. I'm part of those groups too. I think it's a great place. But if you're ready for more connection, a deeper connection, and having a dedicated mentor, then your next step is to find that community and make it happen. And that is all available within the Coaching Hive. Now, if you are sitting here thinking to yourself, okay, twice a month, I need more than that. Man, what about co-working sessions? Could I have that? Could I do some peer masterminding? And the answer is yes. So I told you there are 2 tiers of the Coaching Hive membership. And the second tier is our elite tier. This is where coaches and entrepreneurs come together every single week. We have co-working sessions. And then twice a month, we have the opportunity to mastermind with peers. You get the opportunity to have the focus solely on you and whatever challenge or problem you're having right now. And everyone adds in their ideas, the opportunities that they see coming out of this to help you keep moving forward. We've got our own off-social community just for our elite members. They also have access to our other Coaching Hive off-social community. The rewards are multiplicative. You think you're coming for that live call, then you realize you're building relationships, you're building referral partners, you're building partnerships. I have coaches who work with other coaches to keep them accountable for their own health and well-being. I've got entrepreneurs who are connecting with other entrepreneurs, thinking about the fact that maybe they want to offer a retreat together. This is the power of a smaller paid community. Those big Facebook groups are awesome, but it's easy to get lost. And someone who's replying to you may not know your situation. Inside the Coaching Hive, everyone knows your situation, whatever you choose to share of it. And they can offer ideas and input accordingly. So if you are ready to take your business to the next level, if you're ready to dig into the blueprint, if you're ready to say yes to clarified and simplified messaging, I would love to invite you today to go to www.coachinghive.com and click the Apply Now button. It's going to take you to a form, and like any other application, it's going to ask you for some basic information, but it's also going to ask you to think a little bit about your business. And once you submit that, I'm going to take a look at your responses and I'm going to set up a time to talk with you. That way we can come together and think about what makes the most sense for your next steps. If that is something that I don't offer, I'm going to tell you that. I am going to help you find the resources that you need to be successful, because I believe that no entrepreneur should have to build their business by themselves. No one should have to struggle and worry and stress and get stuck because they don't have support. No entrepreneur should have to go through that. What you offer is too important to stay hidden. I know you want to be the go-to resource. In order to do that, you need to have your clear message. You need to have a blueprint for building. You need to have a mentor and peer community to help you make those micro decisions, stay on track, and get unstuck when things feel hard and heavy. Because as an entrepreneur, you have something special to offer, and it's wrong for that to stay hidden. So if you are ready to be the go-to resource in your industry, go to www.coachinghive.com and click the Apply Now button. That's all I have for you today. I want to thank you so much for being here, for listening and participating in the Blueprint series. Your feedback, your comments, your reviews are always greatly appreciated. If you have not yet had a chance to leave a review, I'd like to invite you to do that today. And of course, I cannot wait to sit down and talk with you about what's next for your business. What's next on your entrepreneurial journey? Send me a DM on Instagram at Coaching Hive, on Facebook at Coaching Hive Life, or just simply go to www.coachinghive.com and click the Apply Now button to get in touch. I look forward to seeing you back here next week for another episode of the Coaching Hive podcast, where a focus on mentoring and community removes the overwhelm of building your successful and profitable business and adds in a dose of momentum. Until next time, have a healthy, safe, and happy week.